4-3, because typically, like, when you see 4-3 guys, you know, they don't run as fast on the football field, but J-Dub, like, he actually runs a 4-3 on the football field. There's a difference.
All right, clearly he thinks they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Scared.
I know, scared. Jason, how do you think opposing defenses will adjust to cover Hill and Waddle?
They will back up because, like he said, Jaylen Waddle is fast. When I first got to Miami last year, the coaches on the defensive side of the ball, you know what player they said he reminded them of? Tyreek Hill, the guy that's going to be on the other side. Defenses will have to put guys up in their face and then guys behind them. When I played against Tyreek Hill when he was in Kansas City and I was in New England, we put our fastest corner, Jonathan Jones, on him on the line of scrimmage, and we put our fastest safety, Devin McCourty, behind him, and they shadowed him the entire game. What do you think they're going to do now? Now it's two of those guys. Are you going to have to commit two to each of them? Jaylen Waddle led all rookies, broke a record in Miami last year for receptions for a rookie wide receiver. These guys are built for speed with the play action of Mostert, getting that ball and being able to run fast. And then those guys on the outside, defenses, two words, back up. And I know, like he said, they're scared. I can't say that word on TV.
Well, he did, of course. Look at the humility out of you. You're just like, I wasn't the fastest guy in coverage on either one.
I was 32, so maybe when I was 25.
Oh, yep, absolutely, absolutely. All right, well done. Man, 2 for 2. You're excused.
Jason looks good up
Okay,
there.
Kyle.
That T-shirt agrees with Jason.
I know. Does your T-shirt agree with you?
I like when the old grandmas can't spin the wheel, so Barker has to help them.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Should I do it right now? Ready?
Who do we got?
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh,
I've been dying to talk about him.
Kenny Galladay yesterday. He sat down with Brian Baldinger and Mike G before the end of their interview. Baldy had some keen insights on what makes Galladay a very special player. Oh, Mike's laughing.
Let me tell you something.
No,
As a wide receiver, size matters. Like, I'm looking up here. That reach, you know, and that distance, that matters.
He's got that big window. Throw into it. Size matters. Signing off.
Signing off. Kyle, it's a question that sparks many debates over the years. So, does wide receiver size matter?
What pervert produced this question?
Size.
Why was I assigned it?
Size matters to Kyle.
Believe me, you're going the wrong place. What?
Oh, man.
The answer to your question is me. I was producer on this one.
I saw you down there, Mike. Galladay thought it was hilarious. I could tell he really got the joke.
I could pull in other examples, like Julio Jones. Like, he's a big wide receiver. Like, I'm trying to help you here. Like, okay,
DK
big
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. Like,
wide receiver.
long arms.
I like that it comes from Baldinger. I was at the LA Summit, the Talent Summit.
Yeah.
I walked into the locker room. Never mind. Okay. You know what matters?
Don't want to be a part of this.
Touchdowns matter. Yeah. Kenny Galladay hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 years. How about the size of those stats? And I know he gave us the interview and everything, and that's great. But, like, Kenny Galladay, my God, we talk about all these players who have to have a big jump and have to break out this year. I don't know if he's been on the planet last year. I don't know if he existed because all the focus is on Daniel Jones. But, Mike, he literally did not score a touchdown last year. The last one he caught, I think, was from Stafford with the Lions. So he looks great. He looks very tall. He looks very muscular. He does have size. But, like, Mike, can you talk? You were there. Yeah. What about the pure electricity of talking to Kenny Galladay?
Kenny was pretty good. I asked Kenny, I asked him what his goals were for the upcoming season. And he gave me one. It was like a team-oriented goal. And then he said, the rest of them, I'm not going to tell you. So he's internalizing it this year. I told him, I said, we're going to come back at the end of the season, and you tell me what those goals were, especially if you hit those goals. So he's feeling a lot better. The last regime, things didn't really work for him. Okay. This offense now is really going to be tailored to making these guys, putting these guys in a position to succeed. So they're excited about that. There's a different kind of energy right now with these offensive guys. So we'll see. That Jason Garrett offense was a little stagnant.
I understand.
And it didn't really work for their personnel. So these guys are excited about what Brian Daboll's doing. We'll see.
All right.
You handled that well.
Thank you. We got to get Galladay in the end zone. What's coming up next? Wait, what do they have for you? Some kind of Uranus joke or something? Let's do it. We can't let you off the hook, Jamie. I'm going to the teleprompter. So let's see what the wheel has in store for you. Go ahead and give it a spin.
Okay.
Go on up.
That direction.
The wheel's tricky. Oh, look, Matt Ryan. Okay.
Oh.
So yesterday, Matty Ice spoke to Stacey Dales and shared what he thinks about the Colts roller coaster, or rather, why did I say roller coaster? It's not a roller coaster yet. I can't read today. The Colts roster, which only remotely looks like roller coaster, roster as training camp starts. That was terrible.
Well, I think it's a really good team that I'm coming into. They've been built really well here the last, 4 or 5 years, bringing in guys that, love football, work hard, and are great players. And for me, it makes it a lot easier when you got good players around you.
It really does, Matt. Jamie, what are realistic expectations?
I want to know why it was there. It has nothing to do with what you did in high school. It has nothing to do with what you did in college. It has a little bit to do with what you did in the last 2 games of the season last year and what you have done with the Cardinals thus far. I wanted him to call that press conference and say, listen, I haven't done the highest performances of my career yet with the Cardinals. I need to take accountability of what I have yet to accomplish with the Cardinals. There is a reason why I want to be here, because I can accomplish these things with the Cardinals. Not, I was the best high school quarterback in Texas ever. I don't care. I don't care. This is so frustrating. I want accountability and maturity. I feel so... When we see these contracts signed by young quarterbacks, oftentimes for the franchise, it's a page turn. And it's such a launch for a rookie to sign this next contract and say, now I get to make the money. Now I get to become the face. But this is what we're talking about. This is so frustrating. And I'm happy he called the press conference. I'm so frustrated with that is the direction he chose to go with it.
It's great. I almost feel like didn't totally understand the story. It's almost as if he wasn't fully prepared for the press conference, which is like 50 different layers of irony. Maybe there should be a new clause. And Mike, with due respect to like the waiver you signed with the Eagles, this is a $250 million contract. You got to read it. And then if your agent doesn't present it, you got to read it yourself. I know that's outlandish, and maybe you're doing the Call of Duty while you're signing it. But also, Jason, he's done very well, okay? And it's great. He's right at the stats. He sucked in that playoff game. Yeah. He looked like he was not on the planet Earth. And so when you start to hear, by his own words, by the way, read the New York Times, I don't watch much film. It's not me. It just kind of comes to me naturally. And then his own employer says, we don't think you watch much film either. Sign this. Like, it's all kind of, there's not a lot of accountability, like Jamie's saying. Like, he was 7-0 team last year. Like, they look, oh, my God, they're going to win the NFC. His stats second half of the year, terrible. He fell off the table. Yeah. So if it was because of the preparation, that's on him.
Yeah, but in the article, he said, I don't watch 24 hours a day of film. He didn't say I don't watch film. We just have heard some of these other quarterbacks that watch. I was with Brady. He watches a ton of film.
Why wouldn't he want to be like Brady?
Well, he's never going to be Brady. Brady's able to stand in the pocket and dissect you. That is not Kyler Murray. It is never going to be Kyler Murray. Yeah. He's a shorter quarterback. He's a guy who makes plays that aren't planned. He wants to get outside, and that's the way their offense is designed. But for us to expect him to sit back there, I'm sure a guy like Lamar Jackson isn't looking at, hey, I'm going to emulate my career after Tom Brady. No, it's just not his game. Yeah. They're watching the Michael Vicks of the world, seeing what he did. Yes, will he probably start to prepare more? He wants to win those big games in the playoffs, but we can't just discredit him because he hasn't won in the playoffs. This guy's been in the Pro Bowl 2 out of 3 years as the first overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner.
But the implication is, do you want to go to the Pro Bowl or do you want to go to the Super Bowl? That's the implication.
It needs a team to win a Super Bowl.
That is the question. All right, also in the NFC West, we got some big news out of Seattle last night. DK Metcalf gets a huge contract extension. Mike, you were all over this one. What's up with the details?
I was all over it. You want to know why? Because Ian Rappaport was flying, and frankly, he would have beaten me to it if he hadn't been sleeping on the plane. Rappaport, what are you doing?
Napaport.
That's his...
Yes.
I feel like we haven't worked together in a while. I love you, Mike. Here. Well, it's good to have me here. Yeah, Rappaport missed it, so I grabbed it. 3 years, $72 million, $58.2 million in total guarantees for DK Metcalf. That ends his hold in after a couple days. That's a victory for everybody involved right now, because last year, Jamal Adams, it took 3.5 more weeks from right now for them to get the deal done, and he was holding in the whole time. If you've got Drew Lock and you want him to get some reps, Geno Smith as well, but you want him to get some reps and you want to start getting a vibe going, it's good to have DK Metcalf back at practice, and it's good to have DK Metcalf paid. It's tough to really compare wide receiver deals right now because they're structured very weirdly right now. Some are backloaded, some are front-loaded, some are long, some are short. This is a really good deal, and it gives him a chance to be a free agent one more time before he turns 30.
All I have to say is there's no independent workout clause in his contract. All right, training camp is here.